Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming back. Little Supermarket is on the right hand side, the Capital Coast Resort is on the left hand side, and so is the blue Mediterranean Sea. And we're waiting especially for you. The manhole covers, well, what can I say? I mentioned it in the last video. They are slightly too low, so they're not potholes, these are manholes. But don't worry, when we run out of manholes that are too low, there's plenty of potholes to help them out. So if your name is Lady, oh, so sweet Caroline, get your bottom on a memory foam pillow. Just before you do, pour a tot or two with a superstar for the legend known as Lord Nigel of the Big Guns. Right, we're heading out along the Tomb of the Kings Avenue. We're in Lower Clorica and we're heading towards Peyia. Yes, so if your name is Lady Ali and you've got a man in your life called Sir Neil, sit back and relax, adjust the flip-flops and perhaps pour yourself a frappe or two. The views are going to be to die for, especially as we arrive in Peyia, obviously, because the Coral Bay Peninsula sticks out, and there's going to be an awful lot of blueness in that blue Mediterranean Sea. So, King Elephant Hotel, or King Eliathan Hotel, to give it its correct name, is on the left-hand side. We're in downtown Clorica, like I've just said. As we go along, I'll give you one or two reference points, but this road goes from Paphos to Peyia. Simple as that. We're not going to turn off it. It's a very simple road to navigate, and Peyia is quite a big area. St. George, Lower Peyia, Upper Peyia, Mid Peyia, well, that's quite simple. But you've got sea caves, Coral Bay, all of that is Peyia. So if someone says let's go to St. George, they go into Peyia. If someone says Coral Bay, I think you get the idea, you go into Peyia. That's a big place. There's an awful lot of foreigners living in Peyia, population of around about 8,000, and around 50%, so about 4,000-ish of those people are foreign nationals. Primarily they are British, but not all British. You know, there's the odd Russian in there, there's the odd Ukrainian in there. Luckily they're not fighting, but they're living there. And there's some French people there, there's some Swiss people there, there's German people there, there's all sorts of different nationalities living in down Peyia. And of course the Cypriots as well. There you go. And they all have a big party most nights of the week in the Jailhouse pub. There you go. Especially if you want a coffee, well, Cafe Me. That's sitting there. And according to Baron John and Baroness Louise, that's a very good place to have a coffee. And they should know, because they come to Cyprus a couple of times a year. Most years they'll be coming here for a long time, and of course they're popping over again next week. But they're not coming straight here, no, they're defecting and dropping down in downtown Malta for a couple of nights, and then they're going to swim across, I think, or canoe, I don't know. Perhaps they're going to do some of that nude canoeing like Lady Rachel, and of course the Cheshire Cat grinning man known as Sir Jason. And of course they're off to Egypt very soon. Yeah, to get around, they certainly do. So what's coming up? We've got Marios's, well, pretend golf course. He's got golf football, he's got a golf putting range, and some crazy golf. We've got the Azure Resort Spa on our left, one or two restaurants coming along here, Halias Bay Resort, what else have we got? Abyss diving centre, if you want to go out into the blue abyss of the Mediterranean Sea. Well, ocean, I don't know, blueness, it is blue. Anyway, you want to go diving, they could be the guys for you. You've got a beach coming up just down here, by the way. If you take a turn in there we go. I can't even say it, Lembus Community Council Beach. What a name for a beach. Why can't they just call it something like, I don't know, Sexy Roxy Beach? There we go. So, there's not a lot of traffic around because it's pretty early in the morning. So, if you get up early, you get to get lots of things done, don't you? So Paul normally starts at around 6:30, delivering this and delivering that, stopping for a coffee, obviously, going for breakfast, doing all the things you've got to do first thing in the morning, and then running a little bit of business here and there just to make that couple of bob. On that note, if you're wondering how the channel is funded, well, it's all down to you guys, and we thank you from the bottom of our two hearts. We really, really do. If you want to help us out and keep us afloat, perhaps say thank you, perhaps treat us, perhaps motivate us to make these videos especially for you, why not click through to our About page where you can consider to hit the Buy Me a Coffee icon. Google us, Buy Me a Coffee, Marika and me, and you will land on our landing page. A bit of information, a few details about us, and of course you will have the opportunity to treat us to that magic coffee or two. Doggy Woggy in the middle of the road, come on boy, move out the way. Andrea, thanks for leaving the lights on green. Such a lady. Oh, she is indeed. So, why not treat us to a coffee or two, and we thank you from the bottom of our two hearts. So John Ricey, we thank you for your coffees the other day. Of course, Dame Anne, again, we are humbled and we thank you very, very much indeed. You can also help us out on YouTube itself. You've got the thumbs up, hit that. That tells YouTube that you like what you've seen. As you scroll across, you've got downloads and shorts, and then there's a heart-shaped button with a little red dollar sign in the middle. Well, if your name's Lord Derek Scully, he likes to smash that button, and we thank him from the bottom of our two hearts. Lord Richie, he likes to hit it now and again. Lady Ali, oh, she likes to push that button because she knows that we like to keep a very, very nice clean front end on the car, and now and again we have to wash the back end. In other words, we've got to do a bit of topping and tailing now and again, because nobody likes to drive around in a dirty car, especially not me. Lady Ali, talking about you, look at that. Oh my goodness. We've just dropped down through Casonica, and in the distance is the Coral Bay Peninsula. That means that we are coming to downtown Peyia very, very soon indeed. And you never know, there may be a flower shop with some flowers waiting especially for you. Yes, Sir Neil. The Golden Rose Flower Shop is going to be waiting there especially for you. You walk up, and if you want to lift back, you give me a call, and I'll transport you back to your blonde beauty, and you can present her with a beautiful bouquet of flowers. And Sir Brian will be dancing in the background, that's for sure. Look at the blueness in that blue Mediterranean Sea. It's a spectacality of a day. All that's missing is you. Get yourself on that big bird or that canoe and start paddling like crazy, because Cyprus, Paphos, the island of love, Marika and me are waiting especially for you. We're almost in Peyia. Coral Bay is on the left, that's the peninsula. What you're looking up is the hillside of Peyia. That's where all the multi-millionaires live. If you want a nice villa in there, well, grab yourself a suitcase with $1 million or so and you'll be fine. Don't worry, it's not that expensive, shall we say. Downtown Peyia is waiting especially for you, and it really is a great location, by the way. To be honest, if you live in Peyia, you don't really ever have to leave. You're not in need for anything. You've got restaurants and bars. You've got probably the best supermarket in Paphos, which is the Philippos supermarket, and it's got a smaller version in Uptown Peyia, so that's waiting for you. You've got school after school. That's talking about private fee-paying schools, and obviously you've got local schools. You've got the Coral Bay Healthcare Centre. You've got the Peyia Healthcare Centre, so that's a British-run operation. So multilingual, obviously. So pretty much everything you can want is here. You know? And they've even got a cemetery, so if you want to die in Peyia, you know, there's no problem. There we go. We're entering Peyia, and there's the sign on the right saying "Welcome to Peyia Municipality," and they're welcoming you for the rest of your life. So this is the Coral Bay roundabout coming up. If your name's James Henry, if your name's David, you're getting very, very excited. But we're not going down there today. We're actually going into Peyia, because as I've said, we are taking this car to this gentleman. He's got various appointments to go on today, so we promised him that we would deliver him a car by 7:30, and that's what we will do. We always stick to our word. And in Peyia at the moment, there's an awful lot of problems with diversions and digging, by the way. One or two people know this, and a lot of people who don't. So the part of Peyia we're going to go, you can't drive up the main drag. So I'm going to take you up the back roads. Here we go. See, now and again, if you come back to the little channel known as Marika and me, you will learn something. Not often, but you will learn something. I'm going to show you a route that takes us up to the top of Peyia without going through central Peyia, because central Peyia is a little bit of a pain in the bottom at the moment. So you've got to do these diversions. So sit back and relax. 2 or 3 minutes, we will arrive at our destination, and of course that's where you'll get the thanks for watching and all that sort of stuff. But it's a beautiful day. It really, really is indeed. The temperature's gone up quite a bit. It's 7:10 in the morning, if you want a timeline, shall we say. And well, if your name is Mr. You got a husband called Mr. Shaw. You've got a very, very clever dog called Sir Bobo, and a little partner in his crimes, a little pussycat known as Lady Daisy. Well, it's 23 degrees. That's not bad, is it? 7:10 in the morning and 23 degrees. If you're watching probably from downtown in Krakow, my lady, Anna, my superstar, it's probably a little bit chillier. I don't know. I hope it's not. I hope the weather is fine. And if your name is Miss Andrea and you're up early in the morning and you're whizzing around in your little black Ford Fiesta ST, spinning those front wheels, and the peacock's sitting next to you because you're going to chuck him out while you're on your way to school, well, it's probably starting to, what's the word, cool down in the morning. You're probably having to wear a pair of socks, that's for sure. Here we are. This road's all been tarmac, by the way, since the last time I came along here. No need for that memory foam pillow, lady. Oh, so sweet, Caroline. It's like, well, it's like a billiard table. My God, I'm shocked. So on a side road they do a billiard table, but on the highway they do a road from hell. There you go. There is some logic in there somewhere, although it does seem to be starting to deteriorate a bit now, so we can get back to normality. But there's some spectacular views from the mountainside of Peyia, by the way. If you're lucky enough to be able to buy a property up here, you get some great views down towards, obviously, Coral Bay. And, well, you'll know where you're going for dinner at night, that's for sure, because there's plenty of restaurants down there waiting especially for you. So stick with us another couple of minutes and we will arrive at the top of Peyia and you'll understand exactly where you are. Some spectacular properties up there, by the way, as well. They've got great views. Obviously we're going the wrong way for the view, but when we circumnavigate you will get a view or two, I promise you that. Lots of customers living up here, and hopefully one day so will you guys. And if you need your car service or any mechanical problems, or you've got some car body work done, or perhaps you want to buy an old second-hand car, although I do sell the odd newish one now and again, I could be that man for you. So hunt me down, Mr. Paul, somewhere in downtown Paphos, and I'll be waiting especially for you. Peyia Hillside is where we are, and it's villa after villa. Like I said, the road's now gone a little bit Sherlock Holmes, as you may have noticed. If you're new to the channel, by the way, and you're wondering what the hell does Sherlock Holmes mean, well, it basically means S-H-I-T. These are some words that, shall we say, Marika implemented rather than say some bad words. So there we go. So when something's pretty bad, we say Sherlock Holmes. There's no reference to Sherlock Holmes. We think he's a star, greatest detective in the world. And when it's worse than Sherlock Holmes, we say it's Charles Dickens, because, well, can't read that rubbish, can you? And then of course, if it's even worse than that, I always say Chichorian English. So there we go. So you get the idea of it now. It means when something's not very good. We are going this way. So we're wiggling and we're waggling, as you may have understood, up through the hillside of Peyia. But so far we haven't come across any roadworks, which is a good thing, because there's an awful lot of roadworks going on in downtown Peyia. So you see, if you know your way around, you're all right. If you haven't been here for a long time, you're going to be in trouble, that's for sure. And you might find yourself stranded in that hire car. So if you're going up into the mountainside of Peyia, rewind this video over and over, put our views up, and you'll learn the route. Pretty simple. And as you can see, there's not much traffic, even at the peak of day, to be honest. There's not much traffic going on. always got someone who believes they're much, much cleverer than you. Come a bit slower next time, you dumbass. There we go. There you go. Obviously someone is late, and obviously it's everyone else's fault. There we go. Never mind. I won't start shouting and ranting. And she was a lady as well, wasn't she? Although she wasn't driving like a lady, was she? Very aggressive. So there we go. We understand sometimes these ladies in cars can be much more aggressive than mans. Anyway, be careful what you say, Mr. Paul. So one of these ladies can come over and punch you in the mouth. Yes, exactly. Right, we're not far from our destination. I sold that car to that man there, by the way. It was in much better condition when I sold it to him, but there we go. So we're wiggling, we're waggling, not far to go. Destination ahoy. I wonder if my brother's come this route or if he's stuck in some traffic, because he's much, much cleverer than me, but when it comes to the practicalities of life, he's much, much stupider. There we go. There we go. So let's take a left here. Not far to go. There's a guy on an electric little motorbike, got a crash helmet on his head, so he's clever, because if he falls off, he's going to hurt. Now, we're not far. Take a left here. We're going to take a bit of a right, and I wonder if that Peugeot is going to be sitting there waiting especially for me, or have we beaten him? See, this could be a new test, couldn't it? Let's see if Mr. Paul can beat his brother to a destination, and that's predicted. Yes, I've beaten him. So there we are. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit that like, click that subscribe, and perhaps come back for a little bit more of our madness. I promised you a view. Oh, here we go. He's arrived. There we are. He has arrived. So isn't that clever? Thanks for watching, and of course we'll see you again very, very soon indeed.